name is Gloria and I am the Product Manager for Model N's Rebate Management Solution. Today we're here to talk to you about how Model N's Rebate Management Solution can fit into your ecosystem to automate and improve your rebate management processes. So when we talk about rebate management, more often than not, we hear three common challenges. One, it's very manual intensive. When we go out and speak to companies, we often find that a lot of companies are managing their rebates through Excel spreadsheets, and this leads through overpayment in accurate calculations. The second key challenge that we often hear about is visibility. So because a lot of these companies are calculating their rebates through Excel spreadsheets, they have a hard time really finding out how did they derive this payment, and they have to dig through multiple spreadsheets to identify where these transaction lines come from. And the third challenge that we often hear is a lack of customer engagement. And the reason for this is because with this manual process, a lot of time is really spent just calculating the model and less time spent making that relationship with your partner who you're administering a rebate program to. And with these three challenges have led to a reduction of sales over time and a lot of losses. So now let's talk about how Model N's Rebate Management Solution can solve for your rebate processing needs. Typically, when a company tries to sell a product, they'll issue a quote or a contract to identify for the customer what price should they really pay for a product. And so within the Model N suite of products, as you're generating a quote and a contract, you can define matching rebates based upon the product that you're selling, the price of which you're giving them to, who the customer is, and what date you're offering that product for. The other piece to this is Model N's Rebate Management System can calculate for you what the customer's true net cost is, or also known as net price. So although you are pricing your customer for a specific product, once you're netting out all your rebates, there is a true cost tied to that product. Now within the Model N Rebate Management Solution, when you are creating a rebate program, you'll first define the definition of the program. So this is in terms of who are you paying out that rebate to, what the start and end dates are. The second piece is you will then go in and identify filters. So this is where you would define what sales lines are eligible, what products are eligible, who is the customer that you're allowing to be included as part of your rebate program definitions. And the last piece of rebate programs is identifying the tiers and benefits. And this is essentially where within our solution, you can identify how do you calculate a rebate and how do you earn that rebate. Are you measuring based on volume or revenue, and based on the volume and revenue achieved, are you then paying out your customer as a dollar per unit rebate amount or a percent of rebate, or even more complex multi-tiered rebate structures? Now that you've created your rebate program, you can then go in and load in sales lines into the system. Now the nice thing about Model N's rebate solution is that you can load in POS lines, orders, direct sales, and indirect sales, and create special validations for each type of sales lines that's coming in to ensure that you're not missing data and that every column for each of those sales lines are populated with the data you need. And this helps improve data integrity of the rebate payment that you are going to end up paying to your end customer. Once you're comfortable with the program you created, you've loaded your sales data, you can then go in and see how did your customer qualify? What did they qualify for based on the sales that was loaded into the system? And within that qualification, you can view the transactions. So how did they get there? How did they earn the rebate amount that's projected to be paid out to them? Once you're comfortable with the earnings amount, you can then go in and define your payment amount. And this is where the system will calculate the rebate due to the end customer. Then the nice thing about Model N's Rebate Management Solution is that not only can you calculate the rebate due, But then you can further break that out and define that you could break out the payments by division, you could break out the payments by members underneath that specific customer, and you can even break that out by products, or maybe an attribute of all three. It's up to you and how your business runs. Once you've generated your programs, loaded your sales transaction, validated that your earnings are correct and that your payments are correct, you can then go into your reports and dashboards and view across your programs, earnings, and payments how you've performed by each of these criteria. And this can be easily configurable as charts, pie charts, line graphs, and even table charts. Now, the one thing that's really important to note is that we don't only address the needs of the internal rebate manager, but also how do we engage then the partners that you're working with. So we give them a snapshot within our community portal of how they're performing to date and how much more they need to purchase in order to maximize the revenue. Now, the couple of key things that I want to mention here is that within transaction management, earnings, and payments, all of these three key items can be automated through batch jobs, so your ERP system can load nightly sales into Model N's rebate management solution so that there's no manual maintenance. The earnings calculation and the payments calculation can also be scheduled through batch jobs, thus addressing the concerns here about the manual intervention that's often needed when calculating rebates today. The other piece that's important is that for every transaction line that you load, every earning that's calculated, and every payment, you can always see all the transactions lines that accumulated to your earning amount and your payment amount. And so with that addresses the second key challenge that I mentioned, which is visibility. How did we get there? The third piece that I want to mention is that within the community portal, this is the area where you allow your channel partners to log in or your end customers to log in and really see how are they doing and really engage them and empower them to have the knowledge they need to really maximize their rebates. And it's really a win-win for both you and the customer. And that addresses the need of customer engagement challenge that we often hear about. It's one of the key examples of how we've seen Model N's rebate management in place is that a top leading semiconductor manufacturer, which is a multi-billion-dollar and multinational corporation, which over time hasn't seen a decrease in program costs by 50%. They've even seen a decrease in overpayments by 10%. And to top it off, with the Model N Rebate Management System, they've seen deal value increase by 5%